Assalamu alaikum. Today we speak about computer language, and we are going to start from chapter 3, which speaks about Visual Basic. In Visual Basic language, we will study chapter 3, chapter 4, and chapter 5. Chapter 3, it is an introduction to the Visual Basic language and its environment. We want to know what is the Visual Basic and how we can use it in our programming process. First, what is the Visual Basic? Visual Basic is a tool that allows you to develop Windows applications graphically. This is graphic user interface GUI. The applications have a familiar appearance to the user. Visual Basic is event driven, meaning code remains idle until called upon to respond to some event. If you have some event and you want to apply this code, you can easily apply it to this environment. Visual Basic is governed by an event process. Uh, till this event happen or detected, nothing will happen. And we want to know uh, the event here, and we have basic codes which can be applied, and we wait till we have the event process which can happen. And in this case, if it is happened, then this code will apply, this code will apply, and so on. And this is, we call it an event procedure for our interest. And we want to know some feature of Visual Basic. It is full set of objects. You will draw the application. You don't need to emphasize how it will look like. It is will be drawn only. Lots of icons and pictures for your use will be available if you are using this Visual Basic. Response to mouse and keyboard actions. Of course, we will have applications, and this application can respond to the mouse and keyboard actions easily. Clipboard and printer access. Of course, if you have an access board on the Windows for the printer, it will be easy to transfer it to your new application. Full array of mathematical string handling and graphics function. Of course, it is mathematically strong and it can be applied, and in the same time you can use the graphic function easy. So it merges between mathematics and graphic functions. Can handle and fixed dynamic variable and control array, sequential and random access file support. Of course, if you have random access file, it is easy to support, and the sequential ones. Useful debugger and error handling facilities. Powerful database access tool. Of course, if you want to use a database like Access or any kind of database, you can apply this Visual Basic tools or applications which will be used. ActiveX support, and some function needs this ActiveX, so it's ActiveX support. Package and wizard make distribution your applicable simple. Of course, a structure of Visual Basic application. Any application you will design using Visual Basic. It will be consist of some forms, and these forms will have some controls and modules, and it will be applied under the project as a project of Visual Basic. So the structure of Visual Basic application can be an application of project is made up of form, windows that you create for user interface, controls, graphical feature drawn on forms to allow user interaction, properties, every characteristic of a form or control is specified by properties. For example, the names, caption, size, color, position. We will speak about some of these properties later. And Visual Basic applies default properties if you don't change it. Methods, built-in procedures that can be invoked to impart some action to a particular object. Event procedures, code related to some object. This is code that executed when certain event occur. General procedure, code not related to object. This code must be invoked by the application. Modules, this is collection of general procedure, variable declaration and constant definition used by applications. Steps in developing an application. There are three primary steps. Draw the user interface, assign properties to control, attach code to controls. Okay, first to draw a user interface and setting properties. Visual Basic operates in three modes: design mode, run mode, break mode. We will focus on design mode, which is used to build the application, of course, as we are trying to understand what is programming and how this language will work. We have also run mode, which is used to run the application, and break mode for debugger. And as we say, we will focus on the design mode. In the design mode, we will have 6 windows appear when you start Visual Basic. The main window, which consists of the title bar, menu bar, toolbar. Of course, it is this one when you open the Visual Basic. We will have menu bar, we will have title bar, we will have project name on it, the current Visual Basic operating mode, the current form, and so on. The form window is central to developing Visual Basic application. It is where you draw. The form window is central to developing Visual Basic application. It is where you draw your application. This is the form. Of course, it will be something clear for you. The toolbox is a selection menu for controls used in your application. These are the toolbox we were speaking about. It will help us with the form to get the controls of our application. We have the pointer, we have the label, for example, we have frame, we have checkbox, combox, and so on. These are some controls we can add to our application easily. For example, if you want to add a text box, you will use this one, so this text will be entered for your program. This is for option button if you want to add an option. If you want to add a list box, it is easy for us. For if you are going to use a combo box, you will use this button. And if you want to add a file list, for example, box, this one will help you, and so on. So every control here can be applied directly to your form, and it will be applicable in your application. If you add a picture or text box and label, this is the most important thing. And moreover, you can add timer if you want. And so these ones, if you study it by some time, you will find it is very helpful for our programming process. The properties window is used to establish the initial property. This is the properties for each control for your case or the form it is used in our application. The Dropbox at the top of the window lists all objects in the current form. Two views are available, alphabetic and categorized. Under this box are the available properties for the current selected project. The form layout window shows where upon program execution where it will be executed. Your form will be displayed relative to your monitor screen. The project window displays a list of all forms and modules making up your application. You can also obtain a view of the form or the code. This is how to look like the project properties or project window, and we can have one form, more than one form, and so on. So you will find the forms here and each one have the properties down on it. As mentioned, the user interface is drawn in the form window. There are two ways to place controls on the form. Double click the tool in the toolbox and it is created with a default size on the form. Click the tool in the toolbox, then move the mouse pointer to the form windows. Down while dragging the cursor towards the lower right corner. To move a control you have drawn, click the object in the form window and drag it to the new location. Release the mouse button and it will be here. To resize a control you have, click the object so that it is selected and sizing handles appear. Use these handles to resize the object easily in this kind. For the command, for example, this command, if you want to add this button, okay, you have added and you can move it up and down and you can increase the size, decrease the size and so on. If you are using this outlier, so it will handle the resize object, and if you want to move you will click on it and move it up and down. There is an example about stopwatch application and how we will draw the controls of it. First, start new project. The idea of this project is to start a timer, then stop the timer and compute the elapsed time. Then we have three command button. We have 6 label and it will look like this one. This is command to start, this command to stop, this is command to elapsed time, to compute the elapsed time, and this will be the output. So you will have the form and you will add 3 commands to it and 6 label for this to help us. Setting properties of object at design time. To set properties of object during the design, each form and control has properties assigned to it by default. We will start the properties of the form. The form has default values. For example, to display the properties of an object, the first way is to click on the object form or control in the form window. You will have these ones. Of course, some of them are very helpful for us and some really we change it. For example, caption, it speaks about the name of the form which be appeared to the user. It is form 1 by default. For example, you are going to design uh, an, an application and you want your form to be very specified for the user how it will look like, so you will change this caption and so on. First, sorry. The second way is to First way to change the object uh, in the form window is to click on the properties of the window or properties button on the toolbar. The second way is to first click on the properties windows, then select object from the object box in the properties window. Of course, to drop down box at the top of the properties windows is object box. Properties can be viewed in two ways, alphabetical and categorized. A very important property for each object is its name. The name is used by Visual Basic. If you are looking here, it is the name. The name here is Form 1. It is different from the caption. It is Form 1. The name is used by the Visual Basic. By caption is the name to display it for the user of this application. A few of the prefixes are for the form. We use prefix frm. Example, if you are using frm watch, then you are using frame watch. Here, command button, we can sometimes use cmd, and some prefix are btn, label lbl, text box txt, menu menu, checkbox check. Object name can be up to 50 characters long. Of course, the name of the object you are using, it is important to know it is not more than 40 characters. Must start with a letter, can't be start with anything else, or write numbers like symbols. Must contain letters only letters will be applied, numbers and the underscore characters. So you are not allowed, for example, to use some symbols like percentage, like upper, lower, less than, greater than, and so on. Name are used in setting properties at runtime, and also in establishing procedure. Setting properties at runtime. You can also set or modify properties while your application is running. To do this, you must write some code. This code format is object name dot property equal new value. If you are using your application and you want to change the name of the some property or some value of this this object, so you will use your code, which is like the program here. This code will be object name dot property you are using and your new value for it. For example, if you want to change the name of the framework you are using from start, um, if you are using the frame called start and you are using black color, wanted to change it to be blue for some reason in your program, so it will be frame start black color equal blue. How names are used in object events. Sub object name event, and at the end you will use end this sub. The names you assign to object are used by Visual Basic, of course, so you are using the name here of the event which is used in the Visual Basic, not or use the user. The format for each of these subroutines, all object procedure in Visual Basic are subroutines, of course. Visual Basic provides the subline with its argument, if any, and the end of substatement. And we are going to study example 2 in chapter 3, the stopwatch application setting properties for it. We have designed it as, if you remember earlier, 3 command and 6 label or 6 labels here. Of course, we are going to setting the properties for it. So the properties will be in the form 1, the border will be fixed single, caption stopwatch application, name frame stopwatch. Of course, this is the name which will be used by Visual Basic frame stopwatch, and the name for the user, it will be the caption which will apply for it or will appear for the user to be stopwatch application. Command 1, it will be caption start timing. At start timing, this is the name of this command. It will be start time, and the name in the data in our Visual Basic program, it will be command start. So if you are going to use this command in the Visual Basic program or module you are writing, so you will use command start cmd start here, and it will appear for the user as start timing, and this add is to make some underscore under s, and we will speak about it in its time. The same for the second command, it will be the end time, and the third command, which will be exit. Of course, we can move this and sign in different places. So here we will have underscore under x if you are running. Label 1, we are going to change the name which will appear for the user to be start time, label 2 end time, and so on. And for label 4 border style, we will change it to be fixed, caption black, name label start, and label end, and this leave us with a success label which will be blank, and elapsed time will appear here. So we have designed the stopwatch, and we have used some names for it and some properties we are going to change, and we are ready to apply it for our application. So the name of the frame, it will be stopwatch application. This is not the name, it is caption. It is the name for the user of the application. Start timing, and you will see that start s has underscore as we have used and before s, and before end we have add, so e will have underscore, and x here we'll have underscore if you are going to look for the properties. And these labels, start time, end time, elapsed time, it is like fixed, and it will appear for the user as if it is something not changing. And if you press start, this will be start time, and end time, and elapsed time will appear here. Of course, you are going to apply more details to get this program to run, but you are preparing the form itself or how it will look like for the user. We will stop here, and we will speak about variables next time. So we were speaking about Visual Basic, how it consists of, how the form look like, how we can change some properties of the controls, and how to apply these properties here. Thank you, and see you next lecture.